In this video, I'll be talking about non-linear programming problem with inequality constraints, and for this we will be using KKT conditions. So in my last video, we have talked about non-linear programming problems. Let me to give first the general structure. Suppose we want to find the optimal solution of a objective function subject to certain constraints gix less than or equal to 0 and then capital X greater than or equal to 0, f of x and gix or any one of them is non-linear, then we consider this as a non-linear programming problem. Now if the constraints are equality, so these gix are the constraint, and if these constraints are equality, so if the problem was something find objective functions maxima or minima and the constraints are with the equal sign, then for this I have applied a method which we call it as Lagrange multiplier method. This I have already added in the last videos, link added in description. But for the problems when we have an inequality, for this we will be also requiring that our function and the gix has to be convex. So when a function and a constraint are called as a convex function, this also I have covered in my last video. So see that beforehand, because that becomes the prerequisite condition for this. So now we say, considering the convex non-linear programming problem, considering CNLPP, convex non-linear programming problem, we then apply the KKT condition. So these KKT conditions, which are Karush-Tucker conditions, we will first write the necessary condition, and in addition to the knowledge that the given functions, objective function and the constraint are convex function, the necessary condition becomes the sufficient conditions. So we consider a convex non-linear programming problem again, and here are the necessary condition. So we take the gradient of f of x plus lambda I is gradient of gix. This is like lambda is again a multiplier for every I. Lambda I times gix should be equal to 0. That is the second condition. Gix, these are the constraint, all less than or equal to 0. And all lambda i's are greater than or equal to 0. For the sufficient condition, now we see that any solution which we got from these necessary, so when we solve these equations simultaneously, we can find a point x star, and this point is a point of local minima, and in addition if we have shown that fx and gix, so all the constraint, these are convex function. So in my last video also I have discussed this point. If the function is convex, then the local minima becomes the global minima point. So what we are going to do, we are going to write for the problem the necessary condition, and we are going to find a point which satisfy all these conditions. Once a point which satisfy all these conditions and we have already shown that the functions are convex, then we will say that this is the global minima point. We also note this remark that if the convex non-linear programming problem is of the maximization type, so here we will not show the function to be concave. Rather than what we do is we simply convert this into minimization problem, and minimization of minus of f of x. The other condition remains as it is, subject to gix less than or equal to 0, x greater than or equal to 0. And then we show that f of x and gix, these are convex. So our problem and the solution method remains same. If these are convex, that means we will find the minimum value for minus of f of x, or we can say whatever the minimum value, global minima is obtained for this f of x, the negative of that will give us the maximum value. So rather than showing function to be concave separately, we will develop this theory, or will develop the solution method in the questions for the convex function. So we now consider this problem, and we want to optimize or find the maximum value of f of x. We see that this is not linear. This is a non-linear function because of the square degree appearing for the variable x1, x2. And then we have subject to one constraint. Now as this is an objective function for maximization, so let me to rewrite this into minimization. So convert above in minimization, so that we can check that the function is convex or not. So converting this into minimization, we will write this as minimization of minus of f of x, which is equal to multiplying this by a minus sign. So we will have 2x1 square plus 2x2 square plus 2 times x1 x2 minus 4x1 minus 6x2 minus 49, subject to the same constraint. So there is no change in the constraint. Now let me to write minus 2 on this side, less than or equal to 0, and then x1, x2 greater than or equal to 0. So f of x is this and the constraint is this. So this is less than or equal to 0. Constant has been taken on the left hand side. Now constraint is already, this is already linear. So which means this is already convex. We do not need to check constraints separately. But for the objective function, we must need to check. And for this, I need to write what is a Hessian matrix. So HF, this is the Hessian matrix corresponding to f function, which is curly square f upon curly x1 square, curly square f upon curly x1 x2. And then I'll take curly square f upon curly x2 x1. This I have explained in my last video also with lot of example, link added in description. You can see it again. Curly f with respect to curly x1. So when I take the partial order derivative with respect to x1, we will get 4x1 plus 2 times x2 minus 4. And then when I take curly f with respect to curly x2, we will get 2 times x1 plus 4 times x2 minus 6. And so then we take the second order partial order derivative of the first term and this with respect to x1, we will put it here. So this is 4 and here we'll get 2. Then find the partial order derivative of both these terms with respect to x2 and place it here. So with respect to x2 we got 2 here and with respect to x2 in the second one we got 4 here. Now checking the principal minor determinant. So this is the first principal minor determinant and here we got d1, this is 4 which is positive, and d2 which is the principal minor determinant of 2 cross 2. So including the first one, so this is the 2 cross 2. Or we can even calculate the eigenvalues. So both are going to give us the same result, 4, 2, 2, 4. So when we calculate, this is 16 minus 4 which is 12 and this is positive. So we can see this is positive definite. The classification of this Hessian matrix is positive definite. And hence we can say that this is convex function. Now we have shown that fx and gx are convex. So now we can apply the, so this becomes the convex non-linear programming problem, which means our KT condition can be applied. So let's write now the necessary conditions for the, or we can write the KKT conditions. So here I will first write the necessary conditions. And then from the questions, we will see what are the corresponding necessary conditions. So first condition is gradient of f of x plus lambda. There was only one constraint, so I'll just simply write lambda. X equal to 0. So this becomes the first condition. Then we have lambda times the constraint should be equal to 0. That's the second condition. Constraint should be less than or equal to 0. That's the third condition. And the multiplier lambda should be greater than or equal to 0. That is the fourth condition. Now, if we look at the partial order derivative that we have calculated, so the first condition will look like, so this is the gradient of f of x. So let's place this. That means it is curly f with respect to curly x1, curly f with respect to curly x2, plus lambda times gradient of gx, which means curly g with respect to curly x1 and curly g with respect to curly x2 should be equal to 0. Now if we look the function, this is the function and the constraint. So where we can simply write gx. Gx, the constraint is x1 plus x2 minus 2. That is the constraint. So when we calculate the partial order derivative, so this will further give us curly f with respect to curly x1. So here we will write this 4 times x1 plus 2x2 minus 4. This is curly f with respect to curly x1 and curly f with respect to curly x2. So this is 2x1 plus 4x2 minus 6 plus lambda times the partial order derivative of constraint with respect to x1. So from here we get this as 1 and partial order derivative with respect to x2 is also 1. From here put that equal to 0. Now if we just look at coordinate wise or the position wise, first term and multiplying by first term should be equal to 0 in the matrix form. So this will give us two equations, 4x1 plus 2x2 minus 4 plus lambda times equal to 0. And also from the second term, when I equate second term, and so considering this is 0, which means it is a 0 matrix. So we will also take 2x1 plus 4x2 minus 6 plus lambda equal to 0. And let me to label these as corresponding to first equation. So let me to label this as 1 point A and 1 point B. So we got two equations from the first equation. Now lambda times gx equal to 0. So this will simply apply lambda times a constraint, which is x1 plus x2 minus 2 should be equal to 0. And on the similar line, let's just call this as 2 point A. And third, so the constraint, so which means x1 plus x2 minus 2 less than or equal to 0. Let's call this as 3 point A. And then finally lambda should be greater than equal to 0, and maybe we can just again rename it as 4.8. 4.8 and 4 are same. Now we want to solve these. Sufficient conditions are already there. We have already verified sufficient condition that fx and gx are convex. So which means any solution that we find from the necessary condition by solving 1 point A, 1 point B, 2 point A, 3.8 and 4.8, we should be able to get a point which will become a point of global minima. Now to solve these, we need to first start looking at 2 point A. So from here, let's see that to solve above from 2 point A, we note that lambda times x1 plus x2 minus 2 equal to 0. Which means that there are two cases, either lambda equal to 0 or x1 plus x2 minus 2 equal to 0. So we can simply take two cases, either lambda equal to 0 or lambda not equal to 0. If we consider the case lambda equal to 0, so let's consider this lambda equal to 0. Once lambda equal to 0, then from 1 point A and 1 point B, we get 4 times x1 plus 2 times x2 minus 4. Now we notice that this lambda is equal to 0. So this is gone, and here this is simply equal to 0. And we get 2x1 plus 4x2 minus 6 equal to 0. Now we solve these and we find that x1 is equal to 1 by 3 and x2 is equal to 4 by 3. And these points also satisfy the 3.8, because we must need to ensure that all the constraints are satisfied. 1 point A, 1 point B, 2 point A is considered. If we put this in 3 point A, so from 3 point A, we notice that x1 plus x2 minus 2 is less than or equal to 0. So 1 by 3 plus 4 by 3 minus 2. This should be less than or equal to 0. And if I simply take this LCM, so we get 5 by 3 minus 2 should be less than or equal to 0. So which means 5 minus 6 by 3 should be less than or equal to 0, which is true. So it satisfies all these 1 point A, 1 point B, 2 point A, 3 point A, 4.8, which means it satisfies all the necessary condition. So I do not need to move forward for the next case, considering the sufficient condition in mind that if the functions were convex and the constraint were convex, or if my problem was convex nonlinear programming problem, then the solution that we get this point will automatically become a global minima. So we will say that x star, which is x1, x2, and here in this case we got 1.3 and 4 by 3, this is a point of minima. Why a point of minima? Because we have converted this into minimization objective function. And once we calculate f of minimum value at x star, we got this as minus 483 by 9. But originally our objective function was for maximization. So we can say f of maximization, we again simply multiply this by a minus sign. So this is minus of 483 by 9. So we will get the original maximization value. So we'll say this is function maximum value. This is maximum value. So the point of the global minima and maxima doesn't change. Obviously, if it's a convex, we talked as point of minima. If we consider this as a function of concave function, this become a point of maxima. So this way we can apply KKT necessary condition, and noticing if it's a function is convex, we can optimize this problem. So now consider this problem. Here we want to find the objective function as minimization, and these are the two constraints. So we first need to ensure that this is convex nonlinear programming problem. So first step is to check the above is convex non-linear programming problem or not. So this step now I leave. We can easily check that this is already linear, this is already linear. The only thing that we need to check it here, and very quickly we can see from here that partial order derivative with respect to x1 and x2, they will come out to be 2x1 and 2x2. So curly g2 with respect to curly x1 is this, and curly g2 with respect to curly x2 is this. So when I construct a Hessian matrix corresponding to this one, so here we'll get 2 and this is 0, and then we'll get 0, 2, 2. So this will ensure that this is positive definite, and so the second constraint turn out to be convex. So now as above is convex non-linear programming problem, we will look at the necessary conditions. So we will write what are the necessary conditions, and sufficient conditions are already verified, so I will not write now in this case. This is gradient of f of x plus, there are two constraints, so lambda 1 times gradient of g1x plus lambda 2 times gradient of g2x, and put them equal to 0. Then the second is lambda I gi x should be equal to 0 for every I. There are two I, so there are two constraints, and gi x should be less than or equal to 0 again for both, and lambda I are greater than equal to 0 again for every I. Put this as equation number 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now I'll solve this first case. So when I solve the first case, we get the two equations in the same format, because if I just convert this into, this will become curly f with respect to curly x1, curly f with respect to curly x2. There are two constraints, there are two variables, plus lambda 1 times the first constraint, which means curly g1 with respect to curly x1, curly g1 with respect to curly x2, and lambda 2 curly g2 with respect to curly x1, curly g2 with respect to curly x2 equal to 0. Now this becomes minus 2 minus 1 from the objective function, one can see, plus lambda 1 from the first constraint we'll get 1 minus 1, plus lambda 2 from the second constraint we get 2 times x1, 2 times x2 equal to 0. So when we equate these, we get two equations. One is minus 2 plus lambda 1 plus 2 lambda 2 x1 equal to 0. And another we got minus 1 minus lambda 1 plus 2 lambda 2 x2 equal to 0. And let me to label this as 1 point A and 1 point B. Now similarly, we write corresponding to second equation. So we get first lambda 1 x1 minus x2. This is due to the first constraint. And lambda 2 times x1 square plus x2 square minus 4 equal to 0. And let's again call this as 2 point A and 2 point B. Then for the third, we will write x1 minus x2 less than or equal to 0, and x1 square plus x2 square minus 4 less than or equal to 0, and call them as 3 point A and 3 point B. And finally, the last one, we need to have lambda 1 greater than equal to 0 and lambda 2 greater than 0. So this become 4 point A and this become 4 point B. So now we want to solve for x1, x2 which satisfy all these conditions, and that becomes the point of global minima. So again, for that solution purpose, we will start looking at these two, 2 point A and 2 point B, and from there we will have these four cases. So let's look at from 2 point A and 2 point B. This will give us the possibility either lambda 1 equal to 0 in the first case 2 point A, or we will put x1 minus x2 equal to 0. So this is from 2 point A, and from 2 point B we will have a similar condition either. So let me to write here either or. So either lambda 2 equal to 0 or x1 square plus x2 square minus 4 equal to 0. So now from these we can make the cases either lambda 1 equal to 0, or it is possible that lambda 1 is not equal to 0. In that case this has to be 0. Similarly, lambda 2 equal to 0, or it is possible lambda 2 is not equal to 0. In that case this is equal to 0. So which means because there are two lambda i's, so we can make 4 cases, and so we will have the first case as lambda 1 equal to 0, lambda 2 equal to 0. Another possible case that we can make is that lambda 1 equal to 0 and lambda 2 not equal to 0. And then we can make another possible case, third case, lambda 1 not equal to 0, lambda 2 equal to 0. And finally, fourth case we can make both of these lambdas are not equal to 0. In that case, this equal to 0 and this equal to 0. So we need to solve these cases, and in case we can get the solution from the any one of the first case, say for example we get the solution from the first case, then we can skip checking the other cases, because we know that this convex function sufficient condition, due to the sufficient condition, we are going to get a global minima point and we can stop there. So looking at the first condition, lambda 1 lambda 2 equal to 0, we then look at from one point A and one point B. Now if we substitute lambda 1 and lambda 2 equal to 0 here in one point A and one point B, so in that case we get minus 2 equal to 0 and minus 1 equal to 0, which is not possible. So this case is not possible, which is not possible. So we will skip, we will obviously say this is not possible. We will now move to the next case. In the next case, similarly, from one point A and one point B, we will put these in this one point A and one point B, and we get minus 2 plus 2 lambda 2 x1 equal to 0 and minus 1 plus 2 lambda 2 x2 equal to 0. So we solve these, we get x1 equal to 1 by lambda 2 and we got x2 equal to 1 by 2 lambda 2. Now we got x1, x2, and we also notice that when lambda 2 is not equal to 0, so look at this, our original cases from 2 point A and 2 point B, when lambda 2 is not equal to 0, which means this has to be 0. So this condition also implies that x1 square plus x2 square minus 4 equal to 0. And let's call this as some 5 point A equation. So put this into 5.8, put x1, x2 in 5 point A. So let me to just change the color so that it is visible, 5 point A. And here we will have 1 by lambda 2 whole square plus 1 by 2 lambda 2 whole square equal to 4. So when we solve this case, we will get this as taking the LCMs and just reducing the term. We will have 4 lambda 2 square equal to 4. We'll get 4 plus 1 by 4 lambda 2 square equal to 4. So this will give me 5 by 4 lambda 2 square equal to 4. And so this will give me 5 equal to 16 lambda 2 square. So lambda 2 square is 5 by 16. And so lambda 2 is plus minus under root 5 by 4. Now lambda 2 cannot be negative. Lambda 2 cannot be negative. So which means lambda 2 is plus under root 5 by 4. Once we find lambda 2, we can put this into the x1, x2. So obviously from here we get x1. This is 1 by lambda 2, which means it is 4 by root 5. And x2, this is 1 upon 2 lambda 2. So here we get this as 2 by root 5. Now these 2 points satisfy all other remaining equations also. So we need to ensure, so check these points x1, x2. It satisfies 4 point A and 4 point B because it satisfies the conditions of lambda. It also satisfies 3 point A and 3 point B, and 1 point A to 2 point B we have already considered. So it satisfies all points. So which means this is the point of global minima. And so x1, x2 we have already obtained from the second case. So this is 4 by root 5 and 2 by root 5. And we can calculate function at x star will give us the minimum value. So this is the optimal solution for the condition, and we do not need to check for the remaining cases. Even if you try for the remaining cases, either will say that no solution or it does not satisfy some of the equation. So I'm skipping those cases, and hence we find the optimal solution of this convex non-linear programming problem. You can try this problem as an exercise. We want to find maximum of f. So remember, if it's maximum of f, we can convert this into a minimization and we can show that the function is convex. So if minus of f is convex, we can simply say that f is concave. So the question asks us to show f is strictly concave. So that means minus of f should be strictly convex. So this is strictly convex. And then we want to find the optimal solution. And for this, you can apply the KKT's necessary condition and try to find the optimal solution.